Okay, here we go. We're going to we're going to show you the user interface of AutoCAD. At the moment, mine is sort of almost set up to how yours will probably be, except for my crosshair is actually going right through to the other top to bottom and across. So it's full crosshair, this thing here. You can get yours to look like that as well if you want. It's just a matter of going to this big A up here, or that icon, and going to the options, or typing in OP enter, and it'll bring up a dialog box. Under the display, you can make that 100% instead of 5% that it might be now. It's useful actually for lining up elevations, make sure when you're projecting and creating from the floor plan or from the top view to the front view, lining things up. It's a quick checking process for me, and I don't mind using that, but some people don't like it, which is fine. The background is black. We can't change the colors in here. Uniform background, you can make it pink or whatever color you want. So that's that. That's on the uniform background. You can change the crosshair colors. You can change anything you like. You can change the command line colors wherever it is. I can't even see it, but it's in here somewhere. Here's the command line there, so you can change the command line colors. All right. I generally leave them as they are. Okay. Speak of the command line. I would highly recommend, while it's doing your training wheels and beyond, that you drag that from the corner there into here like that and let it go with your left mouse click, and also when go about there and you get those double arrows and bring it up a bit, so you're getting a couple of lines of display here for prompts that AutoCAD gives you. Half the problem of people not catching on to CAD is, or not knowing what to do next, is that they're not reading what it's telling them down here they should do. And although I do agree it's not the most intuitive prompts at times, they're better than no prompts at all, I suppose. So that will help if you can keep reading down here. You can, when we say in the book click, we mean use the left click mouse button. If we're going to right click, if we're going to say right click, we're going to actually say that specifically. Okay, what I might do is actually open up the first project. It's best to demonstrate some of this stuff with something in the background rather than a blank screen. So why not just open up the first project. I'll just click the open button from the quick access toolbar up here. There's a number of ways of doing, usually about 3 or 4 different ways. Well, I could go from here, open, drawing. It will take me to the last location I went to. Yours might will be different. Depends where you put your drawing files that are giving you. But basically you've got to go to the CAD menu folder and go to the CAD workbook files. So navigate through basic sort of computer knowledge there, and go into the workbook and click on the CAD file 1. That's the first one we're going to be doing for the next couple of weeks. So open that up, and in here there's a number of sort of generic things that you can draw just to get the hang of a few commands, really a few mostly used commands, the most useful commands. And basically the spanner is one of these that you have to hand up, and the profile is this thing here. So do both and then hand the whole file up to me, rather than just doing one and sending the same thing twice. In fact, if you want to wait to finish the whole 16 boxes, probably even better. So that's that. Now, just want to show you some functions of the mouse. And basically the mouse has got 3 buttons, as we said, the left pick and the right pick, and it's got the scroller. The scroller, we just zoom in and out like this. All right. Now you've got to be careful. If you want to zoom into this area here, you really should put your cursor in the middle of that, or your crosshair, and then scroll up to zoom in. Now it doesn't quite it doesn't quite get it in the right location, but you're near enough. So then you hold the middle mouse button down and you move it left or right or up and down, and you can pan and get to the location you actually wanted to get to, and then do a bit more scrolling and zooming up if you wanted to look at that section there, for example. All right, so there is a section in the book that says go and find this little area here which teaches you how to zoom, and it says go into the smiley face here and zoom right in to see if you can see this text here. There it is. All right, so a small text there. What if you didn't do it that way and you lost your drawing? What if you left it there and started scrolling? Well, it will disappear off to one corner. All right, so unless you know which corner you went to and how far up, you could eventually maybe find it by scrolling. Here it is coming in now. All right, or with the middle mouse button, just double click it twice in the graphics screen area, which is a black area here. Just double click it and it will just come back in. That's what's called a zoom extends. I find that if you learn those buttons, especially the zooming, the double clicking to zoom extends, the holding it down and pan and moving across to pan, and the scrolling, it will be much quicker for you than trying to use this thing here for a pan, which is a left click. And then I can just pan and then right click to get out of it. It's a real hassle. And there's other zooming things here, like you can go down here and just zoom in a bit, it's painful. Okay, so I don't use that, and I don't encourage you to use that. I think you got the mouse there, it'll be a lot quicker. You'll be much more proficient in CAD, and it'll be much more useful to a future employer. Okay, so that's my advice to you there. All right. The next thing we'll just run through on page 12. There's the screen area there, so it'll tell us. We'll just run through some of those little things there. See what that is. All right. So let's go to the beginning. All right. So this is called the ribbon. Okay. And in the ribbon we have different tabs, and basically you can imagine this as being like a bit of a toolbox, and different drawers, and different drawers you have different things. So and I like things are grouped together. So in the home there's stuff that we use all the time, the most common stuff, insert, all relating to inserting stuff in here like images and other drawings and attaching other stuff to your drawing. Annotating, obviously writing text, dimensioning, all that sort of stuff, arrows, clouds, there you go. Layout, it's got to do with creating a page or a sheet for printing. Parametric, it's mainly, we don't use it, but all of this stuff was basically brought in from Inventor. So you encounter this in Inventor, so we won't cover this here. And viewing, again, you could use these panning things here if you want, again, but I encourage you not to. Viewport configuration, what else have we got? Managing, we don't go into there. Basically output, we don't go into there. Really, we'll do print, but we usually just go from the shortcut here. There's a few of these shortcuts in here that you can use, including up on the quick access toolbar up the top here. Okay, so you can use that printer there if you want. There are short commands for a lot of these commands here. Like here, just to show you around, the draw area here is mainly where you draw stuff. These things do expand out as well, so there's more drawing tools here. A lot of these commands have a short command as well, like polyline is PL, the line command is L. Now the thing to watch out with AutoCAD is once you type something in, for example, if I type in L and I've got to press enter, and that's how it knows to execute the next whatever I typed in. So if I might click here, for example, and I want to go that way, 40, it doesn't know when I finish typing 40, so I've got to press enter. Notice I didn't click in here for me to type 40. I just typed 40 wherever I was. So you don't need to click in there to type it. It just knows to type it, to go there. So if I type in 50, enter, it goes there. All right. Now what the book is going to say initially is to make sure you turn everything off from the bottom here, which is the status bar. The reason I'm drawing horizontal and vertical lines is because I've got this thing here on, which is the ortho mode. which means I can only draw vertically or horizontally. If I take it off, I'm able to, and if I click the line here, notice I didn't press enter, I clicked it. Whenever you click something, it does not constitute you typing something. You only press enter if you type something, a number or a command. All right? And all these commands that can be typed in, or most of them can be typed in as a short command, but they all can be typed in as a full command. So I could have typed in line, enter, if I wanted to, or if I didn't know what the shortcut was. All right, so so if I click the line from there as I did, I can just go straight into it and start drawing. Now I've taken the ortho off. It means I can go any direction. So I can do a line that's 50 at that direction, whatever that angle is. We'll sort that out later. If you want to draw angles accurately, we'll talk about that later. But now I'm just really showing you the interface, how to input stuff and that sort of thing. All right, so so now we know how to zoom into areas here. There's this tab here that you may have on your computer here. There's all the different drawings we've got open. I have that initial one open. I can close it here. It will say, do you want to save it? That's because I must have done some zooming around and it thinks I've done something. Well, I haven't. So you just ignore that first one. You say, no, I don't want to save it, if you have that situation. All right, so here we are with my actual drawing here. We've got my command line down here. Now, generally, actually, what the book says is you turn everything off when you first start your exercise, and I agree with it in the main of it. It does also say to turn off this one here, the object snap. Yes, initially there's a couple of exercises where we don't need the object snap, which is if we read it later, it's a way of latching on or hooking up to endpoints, midpoints, intersections of line work. Yeah, but what he says, if you can use it, but then turn it off when you don't need it. I disagree with that. In industry, generally, it's not what happens. In industry, you have that on all the time with the main tools that you use all the time. So endpoint, midpoint, intersection, maybe quadrant of a circle or something like that. So I disagree with that. The book says otherwise. Up to you how you're going to do it. All right. So certainly the first exercise, we don't need those on. Let me just show you also the book is going to, the book on page 14 shows you how to activate the menu. And the reason he's showing you to activate the menu is or eventually it will be, I'm sure where it is. Anyway, it will tell you to activate the menu, which is through here. It's the show menu. Really, it's going a bit out of fashion. It's probably more confusing. There's no real reason for us to be in here. It will tell you to go to Tools and then go to Toolbars, go to AutoCAD and turn on Object Snap. The fact is you don't have to do that to go and find that. So let's forget about that. In fact, I'm going to turn mine off, hide menu bar, because you can go to View and you can go to Toolbars, you can go to AutoCAD and turn on the object snap from there. All right, the object snap is this thing here that helps me latch onto the endpoints of line work, midpoints, intersections. And you will need that for the first exercise. So we can help you put it back on after if you can't find it, and the book will show you somewhere in here, except I can't find the page in a hurry. All right, so we've done that. What else do we need? Yeah, there's some buttons up here which you can minimize drawings and that sort of stuff. We don't normally use them much. Drawing area is in here, the black area. Command line we talked about. Layout tabs, yeah, this thing here you should be drawing in model all the time. Over here is where we have the sheet for printing, so that's basically your printing sheet assembly area or something like that you might call it. It's your title block anyway. So you should be drawing in this space here, in the model space, okay? So that's what that is. Okay, what else is there? Flicking through basic stuff. All right, so that's, I don't think I missed anything, or I probably have, but the other thing to with this toolbars here, so this object snaps, you got to remember that they are not actually commands. So I can't just go, the way we think as humans, we say, I want to draw a line from the end point of that line to somewhere else. So immediately we go, I've got to get the endpoint on, happening. In fact, it says unknown command on the bottom there. That's what it says. These do not exist by themselves. They don't work. They only exist